Welcome to Sideshow Spooktacular Booth Tour.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sideshow Spooktacular Booth Tour, Part 2. I am Guy Klender, and I am joined by my new friend, John.
John Bentley. It's nice to finally meet everybody at Sideshow, but even more importantly, I get to hang out with this guy. Guy is literally a plethora of knowledge, so I'm excited about it.
Well, I want to show everybody here and share the knowledge of some cool things. If you were here earlier in the week, you got to see a booth tour. Now, we have gone and put some brand new items in there, and John and I are going to focus on those as well as some of your favorites. Now, we're coming to you recorded due to some winds at higher elevation here in the booth, but we want to let you know that we know what kind of things you want to look at. So
however, you said focus. I'm not going to be able to focus as much as he's talking about because I'm fanboying out already. First of all, because of him and all this stuff around us.
It's pretty wild, right?
It's really wild.
Well, we're going to start with a look at a man who we named a holiday after. Take a look, take a walk with me from our partners at PCS. Our largest scale piece today. This is a 1/2 scale, okay? Half scale. Look at how big this thing is.
Half scale, and I don't know if you've noticed any of the features quite yet, but
take a look.
This hair is real. I mean, his coif is banging. You gotta understand that. But there's a hole in his neck, guy. What's the hole for?
Exactly. Now, what they've done is they've kind of taken all of his kills, all of the elements that have happened throughout the film, and kind of created one statue. And this is, of course, when Laurie Strode, bam, with a knitting needle right there. And thank you very much for this fantastic close-up we're seeing here on the mask, that you are seeing those dead eyes behind there, and how creepy those are. Of course, a fully cloth wardrobe there, down to the sculpted shoes. Yes, he does have a blade.
Ouch!
Exactly.
I'm not bleeding, but it's real.
But it is neat. And then right down here, of course, we're going to have that wonderful sidewalk, and yes, the famed pumpkin that started that opening credits and put us on a heck of a journey into the Halloween films,
what
right?
What time of year did you say it was?
I believe this is Halloween.
Halloween!
I believe this is Halloween.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
As we said, half scale, this thing is absolutely enormous, and you always know you're going to get really cool stuff by PCS.
Yes,
let's take a look at our next piece. Now, John, I believe you have some familiarity with these.
Just a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen from the video game franchise, The Last of Us, take a look at these here. Tell us a little bit about your
in the first game, I went looking for Ellie, and I couldn't find her because she was in the sewers running all over the place. But how cool is it that we get to see the tat, we get to see the sneakers, everything, and the hair?
This is amazing. Now, this is from our partners at Prime One Studios, which always does incredible life-like looks. You pointed out those tattoos.
Hold on. You're talking about lifelike.
Yes.
Lifelike. See the pipes on Abby? You gotta get the pipes on Abby.
Now, you said you had the opportunity to work.
I got to see and meet the mocap actor who does Abby's character.
And you said that this is dead on.
This for real.
This is absolutely dead on, and it is spectacular. Now, as one who worked his way through college working at a movie theater, I do like the old style reels. Yes, we used to have it on actual reels like that, folks.
And just in case you realize, if you ever get thirsty, bam.
There you go. You gotta hydrate. You gotta hydrate in the world that they're living in.
I call it hydrating with a hammer. Let's move on, shall we?
Let's do it. Okay,
we're
next one.
Move, and you got to understand this next one we're going to. My friend Guy is a little nervous and scared.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Candyman, fantastic franchise, and scares the bajonkers out of me.
Why?
Look at this. Look at this. How could it not scare you? How could it not scare you, John?
Tony's watching because he gets to see the bees. The actual bees.
This is why you should never eat bees. It tells you right there, do not eat the bees. Now, if you joined us for our first booth tour, you got to see that this has an alternate portrait without the bees.
And it's still a scary look.
Exactly. Now, something that we're not showing here that does come with it is there's even a little jar with little bees.
Oh,
so
you
can decide. Yes, you get to decide how you want to do it. Now, John, take a look at this. This is what they do with these. All
Real
fabric.
Real fabric.
Look at these fabric pants. Now that is some fine,
Tailored,
that's some
tapered
fine
pants.
tailoring. Down onto just one of the creepiest bases, but it even looks like
Real
there's
honey.
actual honey in there, right?
Yeah, it's real.
Exactly right. It's absolutely crazy to look at something like this, and this is just. Well, we're talking 2.5 feet high.
You're right. This
is
one.
something that when it's in, no one's going to walk past this and not notice you had it in the house, no matter what.
Especially with bees in his mouth.
No matter what portrait you choose. It's batty.
That's awesome.
It's absolutely
We're
batty.
going to keep moving because this one is really cool, but we have some other things to show you that I really, really, really like, and it's called Batman. I'm not Batman, but Batman. And guess what? We have. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta show Vicky Vales.
Oh,
her shoe.
We absolutely will. Okay. As we all know, I am a 1/6 scale collector, and by one of my favorite partners, Hot Toys, we have 3 pieces. These are all brand new. First one we're going to take a look at is anxiously awaited. Everybody's digging on this. Hopefully you've got your pre-orders going, and this is the Hot Toys new version of the Joker. Now, it's been a long time since they've done this particular look of the Heath Ledger Joker. This is an all-new head sculpt, all-new design in the hair. Just look at how tight all of those strands are, a new expression.
Let's take it a step further.
Yes, you can actually pay for this in 6 scale payments. You
need a dollar.
He's going to have, and it's great that we're focusing on that. This is an all-new base, and a couple things. You have a bat symbol right there under it. Yes, as he showed, each one of those dollar bills is movable, but notice that traditional stand that you have is now around the ankle, so that hides it. Now, something that you don't see here, John.
What do I see?
There is a tongue that you can add.
Are you serious?
You can add the
when he
tongue.
does the whole "Why so serious" thing?
Exactly.
Are you serious?
Yes, there is a tongue that will come in. It's one of his accessories. He comes with a ton of accessories.
Oh, wow.
He also has movable eyes.
Are you serious?
Movable eyes. That's something that Hot Toys has been doing, and it's absolutely spectacular.
Man,
now,
Hot
this
Toys
is, of
is on
course, from the Christopher Nolan trilogy. But for many of us, Batman started in the year 1989 with a Tim Burton film, and that is this one right here. It's the Michael Keaton original 1989 version of Batman.
Yes.
I am very excited that they're launching this figure and updating him and giving everybody a chance, because this was one I foolishly passed on, John.
What?
Yes, I have every Batman but this one.
Something's wrong with you,
in my collection. But I have corrected that error. Hot Toys was nice enough to allow me to correct my error. And yes, this is going to have, okay, we talked about those mobile eyes on this one here. Now, Batman, it's really about that lower jaw, right?
The lower jaw and that deep
There are
voice.
magnetic swap out faceplates to give them different expressions.
Are you serious?
Yep.
The Michael Keaton.
Boom. Different expressions, different bat gadgets, the whole caboodle.
He ain't Beetlejuice no more, baby.
And now, if we take a look, we're going to pan right. He also has a deluxe version, and take a look at what comes with that. John, you pointed this out, and I think this is a really cool detail. Yes, it does come with Vicky Vales' shoe.
That's
absolutely fun.
Look at that.
And that's so fun. This, of course, giving you a little bit of that stately Wayne Manor look with the gargoyle up on top and the brick, and, of course, a figure stand with that. Now, Batman is spectacular. He's known for his gadgets and known for his transportation choices. The 1989 Batmobile from, again, Tim Burton 89 Batman. Now, this is only some of what's going on with this thing.
Can I show it off? Just can I show off one thing?
Yes, you can.
Just one thing.
Batman's known for his gadgets and his weapons.
Bam, right? But when it shoots out, the grappling hook, bow! It's movable, y'all.
You can do all kinds of things like that.
It opens up. Boy, if I had this when I was a little kid.
Isn't it amazing?
Man, my mom actually wouldn't be able to afford it, but it's all good.
Now, this lets you do so many things. Right here, you can have the raised double cannons there. They are movable, and of course you can have them in the drop-down position. They're the bad gadgets that all fling out. You've got the shin breakers right there. What a name, right? The shin breakers.
The guns come out, right?
Exactly. Now, it also has light-up features. Yes, the back, front, all of it is going to light up. Now, of course, we need to put Batman inside of it, though, right?
Right.
That canopy will fully open and fully detailed on the inside.
Are you serious?
It's fantastic. Now, the last two things I want to tell you about this is how you display it. You want to show everybody all around it. If you remember in the film, drops down the huge big thing and then is able to spin it because he's in a tight space.
Turn direction.
It comes with that, and you'll be able to turn your vehicle.
Are you serious?
It even comes with the shield that goes over it if you want to keep your collectible safe.
The invisible shield that he was. Are you serious?
Yep, even comes with that.
All right, Sideshow.
So there is tons of stuff with those, and those are all available right now for pre-order. So now is the time. Pre-order, we've talked about, is how important it is. So don't be like me and miss out on your opportunity to get the '89 Batman. Now is the time to do those pre-orders. I know you've seen a lot of stuff today.
I have seen so much, and I'm like really fanboying over the Batman thing. But if you see the things that I see, that I'm sure you can see, right? Then we need to see what's next.
Even more Batman. Now, in the tour that we had the other day, you did get to see the Batman, the newest. New version of the Batman figure, but we didn't have it lit up for you. We wanted to show off that, yep, you've got the taillight and you've got the working headlight. And what I think is fun about this, you may not catch it at first because, you know, he's moving really fast. I love that the front end looks like a little bit of a bat cowl.
Exactly.
Right there, we get that double.
Exactly.
It's absolutely spectacular, and all of the elements in here are all sculpted, doing all of those different textures.
That's awesome.
The only cloth thing is going to be that leather-like cape with the wire in it.
Oh wow.
Boom. Boom.
Wow.
Isn't that nuts?
Are you seeing the weapon? Oh my goodness.
I loved it, and I can't wait for the second one, and I can't wait to have this on my shelf.
That is awesome.
Just this morning, Sideshow showed off another DC. Take a look at this.
Brand new from
Take
Guy
a look
and me.
at this.
And Sideshow, of course.
All right. So we talked about the pre-orders and the importance of it. Make sure you get those RSVPs. Make sure that you have the opportunity. Very low number on this one here. Check out Poison Ivy. Absolutely spectacular.
And you really got to check it out, though.
Yes. Point out the things you're digging on.
What is that?
Oh, well, I believe that's a police officer's
A police
cap.
officer from who?
From the Gotham Police. And
Oh,
there's
my
so
goodness.
many hidden things in there.
So many.
John, you and I looked earlier and saw that there is the crushed and mangled gate of Arkham behind it. She's obviously, well, perhaps had a little bit of assistance with getting out of there. And dare I say it's almost cutesy? These guys here, I mean, at least they're smiling for the camera.
They're smiling, but you don't want to get bit by those.
I don't want to get close, but I do like the big smile for camera.
And the paint, oh my gosh, the paint job gives her all the sculpted look and the hair.
The paint that these guys do on there is absolutely spectacular. To get all of the shadows, all of the curves, all of that done in there is wonderful, particularly when you get into the hair.
I got to ask a question.
Yes.
It's serious, a serious question. Because we can't just walk by this thing. I keep seeing the beauty of.
We talk about big. We talk about paint.
Big.
Take a look at this. Bam. This is our Queen Alien from Prime 1 Studios.
Unreal.
Now, we're getting some close-ups here because we really want to show you the amazing paint. Remember, this is, of course, in a dark scene in the movie. When we see her, we don't get to see those blues and that pattern throughout. But of course, as you said, that kind of shiny, wet look down into the warrior aliens,
eggs,
little face hugger guys.
Man.
Look at the slime on the kind of open
just crazy
versions of those.
detailed.
We talked about how big this one is. This is 36 inches
Are you
wide.
serious?
36 inches deep because she has one heck of a long tail and over 2 feet in height.
2 feet in height.
2 feet in height.
So 3 by 3 by 2.
Exactly. This is a get another coffee table to display with. As you can see, we didn't even have a table big enough to show off this big guy here.
Unreal.
Absolutely. I knew that you were loving on that. The transparent teeth in the front.
How can you not look at that?
This is when you get lost in the details. It's gruesome but beautiful at the same time.
Speaking of details, we have another fanboy crush over around the corner.
Oh, yes, we do. Follow us, folks. We're going to get into, now that was big, but that's not 1/1 scale, but these 3 pieces are. All right?
Selena in the house.
Exactly. Let's take a look at that. Now, these back 2 are from Batman 2.
Batman 2.
This,
I grew up on.
Exactly. And this is our origin pick. But let's take a look, because throughout all three of these do stand on stands that come with them,
right.
but they all have that Gotham look.
Yep.
And that beautiful that beautiful stone look to it that you can actually look into, particularly with hers. Now that whip can be removed.
Are you
can
serious?
decide how you do it. Now it isn't a wearable helmet, but I don't think that I could pull that off anyway. But it does look absolutely fantastic. Next to that is going to be the 1989 Batman. Here's something I wanted to point out.
You got to point this out.
In 1989, let's take a look at this bat symbol. This looks a little different than we'd seen it in any other time.
It does.
And that's because they were still waiting on some clearances, particularly on rights and the looks of things, so they had to create their
For the
own.
symbol.
So they had to change it a little bit.
Okay.
For when they did. Now, by the time the movie came out, they were all set. So moving forward, they took care of it, but this is the only way to see that symbol that it existed just in the one time. So this is that
really
origin
cool.
pick.
That
So
is
for a
so
lot of
cool.
you, that's the way to look at it.
So cool.
Now, this one is a little harder to look at.
A little
harder
scarier.
to look at. And that is the Penguin. Okay, we're going to give you a lot of opportunity to see some close-ups because there's a lot going on with this one.
A lot.
Everything about him, face and all, hand-punched hair. This is all medical-grade silicone. And yes, it's soft and squishy.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, he's holding that cigarette between his teeth. Now, often when you put these things together, you get a little instruction of, and it keys in here. Well, there isn't one in this. And I'm like, well, how does this go in? Check this out. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Did you see that?
Oh, the teeth are moving.
Yeah, the teeth move. You decide.
Oh.
Is that how I want it? Do I want it off
even
to the
that
side
sound,
here?
that sound.
You decide how you want it. And he, like myself, is losing his hair. It is a removable top hat.
The wrinkles on the forehead, bro.
Absolutely. This is the look you make when you forget to pre-order a figure. That is absolutely the expression that one makes when they do it.
And that is not a vape?
No, not a vape pen. But it is so wild
It's so
to see
real.
something like this. And we saw hers has the whip.
Yeah.
He, of course, has the bat symbol. They've gone with a little wisp of bow tie,
that's
kind
crazy.
of a little bit classy.
With that same Gotham stand.
And that is a removable monocle as well, folks. Now, that was 1/1 scale.
1/1 scale.
We're going to go to a slightly smaller scale.
Slightly smaller scales
Slightly
are really, really cool to me, especially when they have this pool of liquid at the bottom of them.
Let's take a look.
Please tell me about that jam.
No, this is from Kotobukiya, and they have been doing these Bishouju versions of the classic horror characters, but done in their style. Now, I don't really want to say cutesy, but they're a fun and unique style, and this continues that line. And this one here is going to be the Pennywise, or It, as we know it. Now, let's take a look. This is going to be done in that kind of grayscale. As you've mentioned, the drips down below.
That's
She is
crazy.
wading through the pools of blood that have a high gloss. Right in top, on top of that is going to be
the lighting's hitting it like
exactly. Bloop, and you can see the circles
pools around her feet.
Exactly.
Attention to detail.
Crazy.
And something is floating. Did I say that all up?
Yes,
Floating.
All
in the blood.
they all float down here. They all float down here, which is nice, which is absolutely spectacular. Done in that gray scale as we saw.
That's
now
awesome.
the bright colors coming from that face makeup, as well as the I Heart Dairy balloon that she holds. Yes, the red balloons are very, very important. What you may not be able to see, you might be able to see my hand move through there, but there's a translucency to that,
That's
as
so
well
cool.
as the translucency to the large
yes,
bow,
yes, it's a bow.
on the back. Kind of goes from a clear all the way down to a deep gray.
Attention to detail is unbelievable.
These are very fun. They're at a fun scale. They've continued this line. This, of course, it has definitely become a classic.
Literally.
And one that we go with, particularly this kind of reimagined version.
Yep.
We did have some earlier versions of him, but this was definitely a brand new one. And they're what I call shelf friendly. If you get 4, 5, 6 of these, they're not overwhelming. You have 4, 5, or 6 of the Alien Queen, you have a full. You've got a large
living
room in the.
You
You've
have
got a
this-
few rooms of
like
the
having
house.
2 children. Speaking of shelf friendly, can we go back to my era?
Oh, our era.
Our era.
Absolutely.
I forgot how young he was.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very excited to show off the 100th anniversary of Harryhausen.
No cracking jokes.
You and I grew up on this stuff. There are many other people who've loved these and paid homage in their own film.
Yes.
Now, all 4 of these maquettes are all done by Star Ace. And I want to start with this guy here.
Yeah.
I think the Skeleton Army was probably the first one I saw.
Yes.
It was on like a Saturday morning cereal, and bam, and eating that bowl of cereal and watching this one here, and it was this movable Skeleton Army. It was amazing. Now, not only did that have an impact on me, it had an impact on director Sam Raimi, who of course wanted to pay homage when he did the Army of Darkness.
You mean the cat who's talking about swallow your soul?
Exactly, to be able to do another full Skeleton Army, he had to do. Now, there are 2 versions of this particular one.
Okay.
As you see, he's on a base, but there's a more elaborate one as well.
Another version of this
There's another version of the Skeleton Army. So you could technically put 2 and create an even bigger army.
Are you serious?
Which is very cool.
Same height, same everything.
Same everything, except a slightly different base, a little bit more detail going on.
Well, that's awesome. That's
Now,
just awesome.
Do you remember Clash of the Titans?
How can I not remember Clash of the Titans? One of the first stop motion pictures that was out there that told the story about Greek and Roman mythology and put, was it Harry Hamlin?
Exactly.
In it,
And
so, I
we
mean,
got to see and I think we use this phrase all the time, release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
Bam.
That's
When we
the
got
Kraken.
to see this, and this was an absolutely spectacular spot-on stop motion performance that they did here. And there's so much detail in there. We do see that out in that bright light when he emerges from the water.
Yes.
But now we're seeing it in our own home,
the whole
and we're seeing the whole
body.
thing, and we're really getting to see kind of the detail in that. And something that you and I talked about that I thought was neat was the base.
Doesn't have one, right?
Or lack of.
Yeah.
That's the cool part. It's those fins down on the front and then that tail on the back that's going to let you kind of decide.
What kind of base you want to
Do
put
I
it
put it on a black cloth like this? Do I, am I a trained aficionado and knows how to make those pools of water and waterfalls?
exactly.
Something like that. Do I have a glass table? You can decide, and I think that's really neat.
So
now,
cool.
As the taller of the 2 of us, this is a little bit more of your height.
You got to talk about the Minotaur.
Exactly. Now, we were going to paint John in all gold today. We just didn't have enough time.
And I would have never been able to have that kind of facial expression. This is the definition of mean mugging. I'm telling you right now, this character scared the bejesus out of me when I first saw him on the screen. I'm like, oh my gosh, you got the Minotaur, dude. And he's got I didn't even see the medallion until just now. But look, can you imagine getting hit by this? You can't penetrate his skin. He was ruthless. He looked like that. Can you imagine being stared down in a maze like that?
It would be a thing. I would be running through that maze.
You
I would
can't get away from him.
Now, the next thing you're going to run from is this, I believe you have a large lizard in front of you there, young man.
You can't really run, as you can see, as what he's doing to this car.
You can't even drive away.
No.
Most people in a scary situation get in the car and go.
Literally.
Not going to happen.
But once again, look at the detail. Look at the detail in the teeth, the tongue. Look at the detail. He's crushing out on a car, but he's going for something else. I would not be that something else that he's going for.
Star Ace has done a fantastic job with these. These are great, and those again are of course all going to be available now for pre-order on the site.
Okay.
Now, John, this next one is very large.
That's scary.
There's a beauty to it.
I got a peek
but
at
there's
this
a scary to it.
I can't. The eyes. The eyes. I can't look at it now.
All right, John.
I'm not even gonna look at her.
John.
Nope.
So okay. We want you to be able to take a look at this. John is going to avert his eyes.
I play the game. My sons play the game, and I'm like, okay, guys, take the control. This woman came up, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to finish this game. You guys take the control. She's frightening. She's frightening.
Now let's take a look. We're going to quickly go through we're going to work from base up on all of the detail. We're going to start, this base is going to have that kind of carved stone look to it.
Right.
Then we get into a very dirty and a blood-soaked carpet, as well as even having bits of notes there.
Yeah.
But then we work up into this elaborate chair.
You can't go to the chair. You got to get to the feet. This is why I don't want to look her in the eye. Look at this. See that foot? This is material. I don't know if that's a chiffon. I don't know if that's a lace. I don't know what it is, but it's real. That is her foot. That's probably all I'm going to touch on this statue.
Absolutely.
Scary.
Absolutely.
Everything looks like it is material, but then I went to touch it and I'm like, are you serious?
All sculpted, all painted.
Bro.
Prime One Studios, as we've seen with another piece or two here that we've had in the booth, knock it out of the park.
Prime One
every
ain't no
time.
joke,
the
man.
lifelike quality that they bring to these.
Bro.
John was talking about that it looks like fabric, and that texture is in there, and then that Domix version of the floral pattern. And then, of course, well, they're going to need a new upholsterer because there is quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, a lot of bit of Resident Evil.
Exactly, a lot of it. And then we work our way up to what you said you couldn't look her in the eye.
I'm not looking her in the eye.
And that's because she's looking off to the side, is this incredible portrait. What is, again, probably one of the creepier things, not as we talked about in the game, is that grayscale, that whitish grayscale to it, but all hidden under this large, beautiful, as you said, derby hat, which I will be wearing when you and I go to the horse races, to protect my head on that.
You'll have a black one, I'll have a peach one.
But when you see those eyes, and there's that little smirk.
Yeah.
That hint of smirk
that's the eyes, man.
in there. She's got her, cigarette with the long extension there, and then the half-full wine glass.
Half-full wine
because
glass.
I believe that's how she looks at things.
Half
Everything
full?
is half full.
You think so? I think she looks at it like half empty with eyes like that. I dated a girl who had eyes like that. That's why I can't look at them now. That is a half empty look.
So it's not something you want to see too often.
Because she wants to fill up that cup with somebody's blood. Let's go to the next one. My goodness gracious. You can't mess
so
with
many
that.
things, and we're only partially through here. John, there's been a lot of stuff you've seen.
There is so much stuff, once again, that I have seen. You guys understand the things that I am seeing because they're absolutely unbelievable. The ones that I can't look at that I see are just off the chain. But I see something else that I think everyone else needs to see.
All right. Now, these are two of our 6-scale figures, and they are in front of two of our brand new art prints.
Look at that.
The Brandon Lee Crow 6-scale
Not brand
figure.
new,
Brand
Ben.
Lee. And I absolutely love him. Yes, of course, you get that exclusive. You're going to
man.
get that guitar. And those strings are functional. Yeah, those move too. Those move too. John
This
is
is
really
crazy.
impressed as myself being somebody who loves the 6-scale and the accessories and when they do things. John, you've been really freaking out about all of the different stuff that they do. But brand new to the line from the
new.
Lost Boys.
Yeah.
John and I earlier spoke about the influence that this had in our high school years. And
You don't
yes,
understand.
we both wore long coats. And in fact, my high school graduation picture is taken with leather gloves
You don't understand.
as well. Absolutely ridiculous.
I'm going to go back further than you on this. All right, so I went to an all-boys Catholic school in Chicago, Mount Carmel, and I saw this movie, and I started wearing the full-on, the trench coat.
Oh, you had to.
I got the boots. Chicago is a cold place, so I did my thing, and I'm like walking around. I'm like, yeah, man, the Lost Boys, y'all don't know nothing about this. Only brother there that saw the movie. So I was looked at a little differently. And then I'm going to take it a step further. Kiefer, I got to do the last season of 24, and I was running things as Kiefer was giving me directions to shut down the terminal so that he can catch the bad guy.
Now,
this is unreal.
Did he at any point offer you noodles?
No noodles.
No noodles.
But speaking of noodles,
Yep.
Tell about the noodles.
This figure
And the feet.
comes with 3 different takeout containers and a set of chopsticks. 2 portraits. We've got the vampire portrait. We're going to have a more relaxed, cool dude portrait.
Kiefer.
Now, we've got the vampire hands on him, but he is going to have those leather-gloved hands that were very important to me
Right.
as well. Now, down here, he's wearing those boots, but as I told John about, he is going to have bare feet so he can stand flat-footed, but the stand will have an extension. You're able to put it and have him hang upside down with the creepy little feet attached to the pole.
the feet like the hands.
Exactly, attached to it. Very creepy, very scary,
Brand new.
very fun.
Brand new.
Absolutely. He's up for pre-order now. John, I love these things. The 6-scale I love. With this one here, there are so many options. That's when I hit quantity too, because I can't decide how I want to do it.
Like, honey,
how I want to do
I
it.
need to buy something today. Don't be mad at me for bringing Kiefer home, no.
Okay, folks.
Speaking of Texas and big things in Texas.
There we- John, I'm loving the transitions. I'm absolutely loving how we are doing those. Yes, straight from Texas to your living room. The 2003 version of Leatherface. Now, We're going to pull in and take some close-ups on this because there are a lot of details in this.
It creeps me out. I'm going to be
This is,
real.
as I said, the 2003 version of the film. And that time, the mask was much more patchwork. Oof. And this is from PCS Studios. They've gone it, done that real hair as well. That very long chainsaw blade. I don't know what kind of woodworking he's doing with that, but it is gross, grimy.
Well, it's got to be redwood.
That must be redwood.
It's gotta be redwood.
Exactly.
Or cedar.
And down on the front, you're going to have that smock. Now, look how wet and gooey that is. Yes. But you'd think this thing is so caked, it's dripping.
Right.
Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it because we kind of need an aerial shot. You see that there are some broken parts of the floor, at the floorboard, right down in here. There's not sure if you can see it.
Blood dripping.
It's the little droplet of something that has fallen
from his smock.
Off the smock. Now that base continues on with that patchwork design of the skin stitched together, and then little details, and one of those freaked you out, freaked me out. Point out that detail that was too damn scary to talk about.
Do I have to? I mean, you got these nice ones right here, but then all of a sudden, bam!
Bam! You get a baby doll head. You know, what is scarier, the baby doll head in the base or the stitched together mask?
Or the dripping from
the dripping. That's for you to decide when it's in your home.
You know what? This one's strange.
It is absolutely strange. It is
Very
so strange.
strange.
You know what else is strange?
Tell me.
These strange things. It is the cast of the Stranger Things. Boom. This is your chance to finally get all 5.
Awesome.
These 2 are available for pre-order, and they have decided to give you the opportunity to get the other 4.
Whole set.
They come with all the accessories, all of the fun things. I am ecstatic to finally be able to have my team.
I know something that you were more ecstatic over. Back in the day.
Absolutely.
You actually went to a concert.
I went to a concert.
And someone has done something to bring it back for you.
Exactly. At this concert, behind this phenomenal band, was the man, Eddie. And that was it. And these are from Sideshow. The band themselves has been in contact with Sideshow all throughout the process.
Have to.
But when they saw them finish, they lost their minds. I think they were the first to be hitting the like button.
Like,
the like button on these things. So we're going to have the Soldier and Power Slave. Let's take a look first at the Power Slave. We talk about attention to detail right here down in that pyramid. All of the hieroglyphics. Now I can't read those, but I'm sure there's some code in there. For those of you that follow looking for codes, perhaps you're looking for codes all day today in our show. Right along here, you're going to have that electric power, but that's all achieved through paint.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, of course, that wonderful biting through the chain and all of the wraps. And that's all done in paint. All done in paint to give it that texture of those wraps.
It looks like real.
Isn't that wild?
Man, I am fanboying out today. I'm serious. I don't know how they do this. Is that the screw too? Oh wow! I just saw it.
Yeah, well, you know, keep it closed.
Wow.
Some people are open-minded. This is when you're closed-minded.
Speaking of closed-minded, looks like a skull's been split in half.
Split in half, but that is one beautiful, sleek dome there.
Are you speaking from experience?
I'm loving this. I said, but perhaps this is a makeup I can try for tomorrow.
But just don't get the hinge. You can't get the hinge.
Take a look at this one. Now, this one here is going to be the head-to-toe. And this is of the Soldier. There is so much. I wish this thing was spinning just for you to see all of the detail. Cool. You've got up there on the epaulets, and you got the 666. Yeah. There on the hands, you've got the rankings. They've even gone so far as to kind of put in that stitching and that texture of it, the broken wood on that, the fabric of the flag as well. And then you were point out a little bit of the things on the base that you were like.
Talking about hands. Speaking of hands, we've got a whole hand and arm. It's dismembered.
And a couple over here.
A couple hands.
Ripping out over there. You're going to see those very dirtied boots. So much going on with this.
I know the band loves this one.
They absolutely do. And then on the backpack, all of the additional detail.
Are you serious?
Oh, yes. There is so much. This is a very, very intricate one. This is
pick it up and turn it around, but I can't. You gotta buy it.
You know what? We're going to get that to you in your home, and you're going to be able to turn that around.
My wife will be mad. She'll wake up in the middle of the night and see that thing shining.
This is holiday decorations, my friend.
Oh, yeah. You gotta leave that out.
Absolutely.
Speaking of holiday decorations, I have a friend.
Yes.
His name is Frankie. I mentioned Frankie a couple days ago. I think you need to Follow me. Come on, children.
Now, Frank joined the Sideshow team pretty much from the beginning of the company.
So cool.
Sideshow has started with some of the classic monsters. That
Yes.
was one of the first big things that you got from Sideshow. And now this is a brand new statue.
So
We're going to
cool.
take a look at some close-ups on this because there's so much detail. What they've done with this one here is, well, for lack of a better phrase, and kind of Frankenstein-esque, is patchwork this together.
Really?
Okay. We're having ideas that we saw through comics, we saw through books, we saw through the text, and all of that, and other
And
incarnations.
experiences with lightning.
Boom, take a look at that. This is a very new and exciting idea on that.
Wow.
All of the skins stitched together. You see the different colors of the skin, but even the cloth.
Yeah, stitched together.
Also put together bits. Now, one I don't know if you saw. You see this beautiful kind of shawl cape? Did you see that it's a black bear?
No.
Take a look at the face of the black bear.
Oh, there's the claw. I didn't even see that.
And there's the face right there on the side. That's some of the hidden details that the Sideshow sculptors and artists put into these.
Amazing.
Working our way down, there's hidden story elements.
Gotta
Yes,
talk about that
exactly.
that tombstone.
The tombstone. Hopefully you are familiar with the 1818 novel. You've hopefully had enough time to read this particular one. But that is, of course, Victor Frankenstein's beloved wife that was killed by the monster and kind of creates a whole new offshoot of things that happen between the two men.
But don't forget, Sideshow's famous apples.
Absolutely.
This is a new one, am I right?
This is the brand new one.
Oh my goodness.
Now, if you were ever called a bad apple.
You know, back in the day, I had a whole lot of teachers call me a bad apple. But this is a bad you-know-what.
Sideshow has used the apple for a number of years now to kind of show you the scale. And as a fun thing each year, during the Spooktacular season, they introduce a brand new one.
Wow.
And this is this year's. As you can see, if you were a collector of them, bam, a lot of fun and exciting ones.
Sideshow is on it.
Now, you and I talked about our youth, and I want to show you two more pieces.
Okay.
And these are by our friends at Tweeterhead. Let's
Tweeterhead.
take a look, let's
That's a
take
good
a
name.
look at these. First up is Gillman.
Gillman.
Is it? Look at the intricacy.
So you got to
that.
understand, I used to have bad dreams. Everybody thought Creature of the Black Lagoon was like slow and he couldn't do anything. Gillman looks like he would tear you up. Like you can't get away from him. Look at the claws.
And look at as you said, the speed. Look at the fast, aggressive motion coming out of that, coming right off of that base.
Crush this one.
Now, in that base, you and I noticed a few things. Two I noticed right away, and the other two I missed. First up, of course, is this very sinister large snake. Right down.
It's a boa.
It's a boa.
Not around his neck.
Down below, you're going to have our toad. But, John, show us the fun ones that you found.
You got to see the little cute things under this mean thing. The little turtles. They're probably trying to get out. You know, either they're trying to get out because they had too many mushrooms, or they're trying to get out because they realize that this dude's gonna get them.
Now, this one here, if you turned into our earlier tour, you got to see the alternate portrait on this one here. This is more of the classic portrait.
Really?
The other one is an open mouth and more of the modern take. So that gives you at home the opportunity to display it however you like. If you want to swap it out, you know, weekly, daily, hourly, that is entirely up to you.
And this is who head?
Yeah, this is Gillman. This is by Tweeterhead. Tweeterhead. Now, Tweeterhead went and it pays homage to a woman that meant a lot for you and myself, staying up late and watching those horror movies.
I stayed up many a night thinking about Elvira.
Let's pan over and take a look. Point out some of the things on this, John, because I absolutely love this.
Some of the things? Well, Elvira was always my favorite. I mean, listen, the comic books, and then she would, you know, launch off into what the story was about. But it was, I'm a fan of, you know, the Vault of Horror and Tales of the Crypt. She would be the moderator for stuff like this, and it was just, she was fine. She was gorgeous. Actually, I wanted my girlfriend to be Elvira until I found out how evil she was. And you can see right here, if she was gonna shank you, you didn't want to get with her. You know, but even look at the hair.
She had such a fun element
She did.
to it as well. And that's really seen in the portrait here, is there is that fun and somewhat jovial, playful manner that she had. But that continues down, as you can say, to an absolutely beautiful sculpted figure, but down onto the dress and seeing all of the detail down in that lower hem.
Look at that.
Absolutely
Look at
beautiful.
that.
And that base works fantastic with it, to have it in that kind of cracked and nasty tomb look. From something that is absolutely beautiful to something that is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, this one is absolutely terrifying, and this one I'm not gonna. The details in this one, oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
Now let's take a look. There is a lot of detail in this. This is a 1/3 scale, and look how large he is for 1/3. So that tells you a little bit about how big he is in the films. But let's come in here for some close-ups. We're going to start at the base and work our way up, because like we showed with Gillman, we've got a different portrait on him today.
The fish.
It's not real water.
There's fish in the water.
It's not real water.
It's not.
It's actually acrylic done that. You've got little fish in there in the stones. And look at how it just goes right through there. And that wet quality continues up and over, slightly up. Then exactly right.
I just saw the turtle.
Wait, where's the turtle?
Right there.
Oh my gosh, you're right. And then we get up into the dry tree, but then we've gone into the foliage there, and I love having that. But of course, the one taking almost all of our attention is the predator here. We take a look at that lace work, and that is all hand done on there.
Unreal.
And the paint work to get that skin quality.
The wet look again.
The wet look again. Down there, the trophies. Yep. All individual trophies. Probably the largest and most gruesome of the trophies, and most current.
Somebody's
the human skull and spine in a very, very wet look. Of course, there on the right arm is that double blade gauntlet. On the other arm is going to be the one that we see him call for things, and there's even going to be detail in that. Working our way up onto the chest, again, more of that hand-tied netting. That wet look, the abs coming all the way up to that shoulder cannon, and there's portrait number 2. And this is from Prime 1. So what we talked about earlier with Prime 1 is when they get to the details and the textures and the paint, bam, from the wet look of, on the creature to the absolute wettest look of the water and little tiny happy fish who know absolutely nothing about the guy.
And you talked about the scale. It kind of reminds me of a rookie this year that's playing somewhere in San Antonio.
It's absolutely huge. So many big things.
Yeah.
And throughout Spooktacular, it's been spectacular. We have seen a ton of stuff.
Yes.
But we're not done.
We're not done.
We're not done.
What else do we have?
We've got stuff going all the way until 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Halloween.
That I did not know.
We are going. We are going. We've got more live shows.
Okay.
We've got more stuff from our social team. Hopefully you are a fan and friend on Let Your Geek Side Show, as well as on the Sideshow app that you're able to interact with. They're having giveaways. John, Sideshow is giving away over $15,000.
That's a lot.
Worth of stuff throughout Spooktacular.
Bro, that's a lot. You need to get on it right now. I'm telling you. It's crazy.
There is so much.
Is there a discount on any of them?
You know what, John? I know that you've seen a lot of stuff that you like. Now, this is all new stuff that's coming out, but I've got some stuff here in the warehouse that I'm going to get to your house.
Okay.
And we're going to get it to you quickly.
Okay.
And I'm going to get it to you for 30% off. How about that? Now, here's how to find out what that is.
Anybody who's watching, if
I'm
your
going to let them
mouth
do it.
Drop like mine just did.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. 30% off of the things that they have at Sideshow is no joke. It's one of my favorite places.
I want you to have that deal. I want to give you 30% off.
Really?
But I want to give everybody watching 30% off. So here's how you're going to do that, folks. You're going to go to side.show/spooky30. And you are going to be scrolling for a while, because there's a huge amount of items there. He and I are going to shop right after the show.
He's going to tell me that code. He's going to write it down.
You are going to have a huge amount of items to choose, and every one of those is 30% off. Wow. And that deal, John, we're going to run that all through at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time, Halloween
night?
Boom. We're going to keep going, all right? So, well, there's a lot of items to choose from, and I want you to have the opportunity to do it. But now that's a discount. But, John, I want to give stuff away free, so here's what we're going to do. All right? On qualifying purchases, you are going to get the quarter scale Grogu by Hot Toys. He comes with a little pram. You want to keep it closed and have a nap time? You can do it. And that's because it's a fully posable quarter scale figure by Hot Toys. And that is yours free with a qualifying purchase. And that you're going to see on the graphic below. That's going to take you to a list of all of those qualifying items. And it's very, very easy to qualify very quickly. And you get it absolutely free. We got that going. We've got our 30% off going. And now, John, the other thing we do is every single day we do deals here. But here's how we're doing it. Those daily deals at midnight stop and become all brand new ones.
You mean different items?
Different items every day, every 24 hours of Spooktacular. Brand new stuff. And those are our daily deals. And all of this, all of the information, all of the shows we've got coming up, all of this is Spooktacular.com. Now you can go straight to Spooktacular.com, or if you're on the Sideshow site, you're going to see an icon that's going to let you know how to go to Spooktacular and all of the events and everything coming up. There is so much going on, folks. We've got a lot coming up. We hope you're enjoying it. We're having a great time. Once again, I'm Guy Klender, joined by my new friend, John.
I am John Bentley, but I'm going to tell you right now, you better hurry up and order, because I don't have my phone on me. You're lucky, because I'd be on Spooktacular right now ordering all my stuff and probably beat you to all these. I'm just letting you know. We're being real.
Oh, yes.
Being real.
That's what I do. I order them all the time.
Man.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. And until next time, don't forget to let your geek Sideshow.